Good evening.
Servus. Ich hab Vögel getötet. Ich Schwein. Bereue nicht.
My good friends, if I may have your attention. Behold our visitor, the good Dr. Reid. Newborn of blood so pure and strong that even my friend Fergal Bansher was no match for him.
Here, here, here.
Naja, ich hatte ein bisschen Hilfe.
Ascalon, for we have so much to discuss. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reid. I am Lord Redgrave, Earl of Bristol and chairman of this exclusive association.
Lord Redgrave.
At last we meet. I've been eager to make your acquaintance. I've heard some astounding things about you. Please accept my condolences for your loss, Dr. Reid.
Thank you, my lord.
Oh.
Lady Ashbury expressed your wish to meet me.
Ich habe mich gerade erschreckt von meiner
The lady
Katze.
has always been a useful acquaintance, though not always reliable. Is she a good friend of yours?
She's a close friend, and I'm honored that she feels the same about me.
The centuries have taught me never to trust a woman completely, especially if she is immortal. Too prone to emotions, if you ask me. Too fickle when it comes to important decisions.
My lord, do not expect me to speak ill of Lady Ashbury.
Of course not, and I praise your loyalty. Would you offer the same fidelity to the Empire?
What do you mean?
I speak of the Skull Plague that threatens London and the country. You have been on the front line in the East End, but the time has come to open up a second front here.
The epidemic has escaped the quarantine. You have new cases of the outbreak.
We don't know for certain, but we cannot allow the disease to threaten the prominent heads of Great Britain.
Why have you asked me here?
Because the crisis is escalating. Our enemies, the Garda Priwen, have even launched an open hunt. The only way to calm things down is to put an end to the epidemic.
You want me to find possible sources of the outbreak in the West End. Is that it?
Ah, straight to the point, like all eager newborns. We shall have time to talk about all this, Dr. Reid, but first, I should like to get to know you better.
Talk? Is that the only reason you asked me here?
Well, no. I also wanted to meet the intriguing Ekon who made such a powerful progeny of his sister. You have not learned the name of your maker, am I correct?
Nö.
No, I haven't.
Have no embarrassment, Dr. Reid. We all make mistakes. But whatever your lineage, you are definitely Ascalon material.
What do you mean?
I would like you to become a member of the Ascalon Club, and to serve me as such.
Ob ich das will, weiß ich noch nicht. Oh, anscheinend muss ich.
Before I accept, I have so many questions.
Please ask.
What is the Ascalon Club's express purpose?
We follow the credo of William Marshall, the greatest knight who ever lived. As was he, we are sworn to protect the British Empire.
What does Ascalon mean?
Ascalon was the lance wielded by St. George, glorious patron saint of England when he slew the dragon.
Welcher
And
Drachen?
like that lance, we pierce the hearts of all our nation's enemies.
William Marshall founded the Ascalon Club.
Not exactly. William Marshall granted me immortality, and I founded the club a few years later. The good knight has been gone for so long.
Zurück.
What does it mean to be a member of the Ascalon Club?
It means that you swear to protect the interests of the crown, that you become a loyal servant of the British Empire.
Do you have any official recognition from the government? A charter from His Majesty the King?
No. Of course, the Ascalon Club publicly supports the Empire, but the true nature of its members remains a secret.
Am I supposed to follow orders?
As founder and chairman of the club, I alone am entitled to make demands of our members. And I do appreciate obedience.
Jo. Nö, eigentlich würde nicht.
I killed Fergal, who claimed to be one of yours. Sent to cleanse the east end of all skulls. Will his death be an issue?
Do not worry. My priorities have changed. Fergal was a zealous servant of mine, but like any servant, he had his limitations and is readily replaced if necessary.
Ja, wahrscheinlich durch mich.
I agree to join the club.
This is good news. Good news indeed in these crucial times. Let's inform the assembly formally and proceed with your initiation.
My initiation?
Fear not. Nothing fancy nor dangerous. It is just that we, the members of Ascalon, believe that tradition and custom are the backbone of this country. My fellow members, dear friends, please gather and welcome this Ekon as one of our own.
Is he worthy?
Jo.
Is his blood pure?
Jo.
Well, speak, Dr. Reid, in front of the most sacred blood. The blood of our beloved William Marshall, speak now. Will you serve and protect the crown as he did?
Yes, I will.
Then, young Ekon, it is time to testify with your blood.
Was muss ich machen?
It is time to sign the Book of Allegiance. I know it's awfully gothic and a tad pedantic, but England's traditions are the backbone of our nation.
Backbone, ich geb dir auch ein Backbone. Ratz, Ritz, Ritz. Richtig neue Ebene von Emo. Klaus, Dieter, Mühlenbach. Bitteschön. Ey, ist meins.
Delightful. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reid. Take your place among the bearers of the lance.
One of us! One of us!
Ihr spinnt doch alle. Wollen wir mit den anderen quatschen?
I personally went patrolling last night in the West End, and I spotted at least 2 foreign...
Good evening, Dr. Reid.
This?
How does it feel to be this evening's
Oh,
centerpiece?
kann der Typ da...
Figuratively.
Aloysius!
It's quite unsettling. As a doctor, I am more used to being the observer than the subject observed.
Do not be alarmed. The Ascalon Club has a tried and tested policy for choosing its initiates.
May I ask who you are, sir?
Why would you be interested?
Well, as you seem to be the only man in the room with a beating heart, you draw quite a bit of attention yourself.
Ah, vampire senses never cease to fascinate me. They dwarf those of mere mortals. I am Aloysius Dawson, by the way.
Aloysius! Ach komm hier, könntest du bitte dich nicht erwürgen mit meinem Kabel, danke. 3-mal dürft ihr raten, wen ich gemeint habe.
Are you not afraid? You are surrounded by vampires.
Sir, it's for that very reason that I joined the club in the first place.
Der Riesen.
Is not the nature of this club a secret shared by only a privileged few?
My dear Dr. Reid, I have spent years and a fortune precisely to gather that kind of information.
So you asked for membership?
I have been a member of many clubs in many countries. But I must admit, this one is my favorite.
Okay, Trick.
Are you a member of the club? Yes, I am. And I have been for many years. And will be until the day I die.
What can you tell me about it?
It's not really my place to give you such information. I am merely a mortal member, and a dying one at that.
Ich kann ihn retten.
Are you sick?
Personally, I consider my advancing years are a sickness in itself. My body is slowly abandoning me, Dr. Reid.
Soll ich Mitleid haben?
What can you tell me about Lord Redgrave?
I would not dare speak of our chairman without his consent.
Gut. Dann nicht. Dann schrei ich.
Mr. Dawson. Of Dawson and Dawson. The wealthiest man in England.
Die Eule hat ja von ihm
It is
erzählt.
a pleasure to meet such a prominent figure of London.
A withering London figurehead, to be precise.
Are you sick, Mr. Dawson? I am a doctor, you know.
My case is beyond the scope of traditional medicine. I have spent fortunes on the world's most competent doctors to arrive at that diagnostic conclusion.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir. Should I suppose that you're here in search of some form of immortality?
Absolutely not. I'm here to implement my plan to save the city I was born in. To cast out the ghastly evil that has us all on our knees.
Jo, passt schon.
What is the situation like in this part of town?
I am sure Lord Redgrave will enlighten you more effectively than I.
What do you know about the Guard of Prewin?
I should not say this, but I admire their commitment. This is what the nation needs right now.
But they are our enemies.
They are not mine, Dr. Reid.
Doch.
Would you help them?
No. There is a time for such methods. But brute force will not be enough to fight this plague. We have to think differently.
So.
Money cannot solve every problem. This mysterious epidemic is going to require more than money can buy.
You're right. Money is nothing unless one has the will to wield it. I have a plan, sir. A radical one that will save all that is essential in London.
What is your plan, then?
Quarantine and barricades are futile. What we need is a wall. A formidable, unscalable wall. To isolate the deserving from the infected masses.
Jetzt weiß ich, an wen er mich erinnert. An Trump. So sieht Trump in 20 Jahren aus. Wir brauchen eine Mauer.
By doing so, you would create two separate ghettos. What if the disease gets past the wall? The results would be disastrous.
Not if we eliminate all suspected cases of infection as soon as they appear. A necessary sacrifice.
Are you not mistaking sacrifice for summary execution?
Why do you care? Are you not a vampire? Removed from all mortal concerns? Decisiveness is what the city needs, and it needs it now.
Finde ich nicht gut. Okay, gut, was ich jetzt mache ist... Da. Ach, Aloysius ist die Stütze, nicht der Redgrave. Okay, gut. Gut zu wissen.
That went well, did it
Ja
not?
klar, der ist der Vampir.
It is always useful to bolster the troops' morale, especially before a difficult battle.
You have the makings of a general, my lord.
I was, though very long ago, well, not quite a general, but a proud defender of the crown.
So why did you really want to meet me?
Straight to the point again, young Ekon. All right, let's talk, you and I, Lance Sparrow.
I'm listening, my lord.
According to my spies, you have worked with Dr. Edgar Swansea on the epidemic,
Jo.
and your findings were quite alarming.
You were spying on me.
Not personally. I rarely leave this building. But once he found you, Fergal kept me informed. Until you put an end to his mission.
Der war ein Arsch.
Who was Fergal? I don't see him sipping tea with the others in the club.
Fergal Banshire was my squire of sorts. Even before becoming that magnificent beast, he was a brute. He served me well for decades.
No, I mean, what was he? He was clearly no ordinary vampire.
No, he was a Volcod. All muscles and instinct. Quite the rare breed. Ferociously territorial. Mortals often mistake them for werewolves.
You do
Komplizierte
know
Scheiße.
I killed him.
Yes.
Will you bear ill will towards me for his death?
Of
Ja,
course
Fristen
not.
auch fragen.
Your victory was quite impressive and courageous. You earned my respect.
Do you know Edgar Swansea?
Not personally. But I've been told he has some sort of immortal fetish and is a good friend of yours.
Does
Fetisch
it
ist doch
bother you
falsch
if I
gesagt.
consider him my good friend?
As long as you reveal nothing of the club's inner workings, why should I forbid you engaging in conversation with the good Dr. Swansea?
Yes, I'm convinced the recent invasion of frenzied Scals in London is directly linked to the epidemic. This is not the Spanish flu, but something else.
I would be glad to hear more of your discoveries, Dr. Reid, but for now, my main concern is the security of London's inhabitants, both mortal and immortal.
What do you mean?
Alarmed by the epidemic, the Guard of Prewen has started a war against us British vampires. To appease the situation, we must eradicate the Scals.
I have met peaceful and wise Scals. To exterminate them means we are no better than vampire hunters.
Scals are hideous, shameful creatures that give all Ekon a bad name.
So, what do you want me to do?
I want you to investigate the city thoroughly. I have reason to fear there are cases of contagion in this part of town. Our absolute priority is to find and cleanse them.
And how would you like me to proceed?
By all means necessary, Dr. Reid. You are now a member of the Ascalon Club and you have carte blanche. Interrogate the locals, follow all the leads you find, and get results.
Schön, dass das so angekündigt wird. Es können neue Bürger getötet werden. Maybe I don't want to. Ich kann mit denen immer nicht quatschen, oder? Die sind zwar da, die haben zwar Namen, aber irgendwie sind die nicht relevant für mich.
Horned vampire revealing himself and singing obscure songs around the city. What is this new malevolence?
Scals have been spotted everywhere in London. We are losing this fight.
Ihr redet komisch, Leute, manchmal. Hier ist nichts. Da ist was. Ach, gut, hätte ich auch laufen können? Na. Langweilig.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Doctor.
Super. Dann gehen wir raus. Oh, da ist ein Unterschlupf. Eigentlich will ich gar nicht pennen. Aber ich glaube, ich mache besser jetzt Pause. Also Aufnahmepause bis zum Wochenende. Dann habe ich zwar jetzt noch... Ich hoffe, ich krieg jetzt heute, morgen... ich krieg für morgen, also Dienstag, eine Folge hin. Also zum Schneiden und hochzuladen. Also wenn nicht, dann gibt's dann was anderes. Also wenn, tut's mir leid, aber es ist schon spät und ich hatte am Wochenende, weil ich ja bei Gizmo war, keine Zeit aufzunehmen und irgendwie habe ich nicht genug Puffer aufgenommen. Also wenn es nicht funktioniert, habe ich nicht genug Puffer aufgenommen. Kann auch sein, dass es reicht. Da, Katze.
I think Lord Redgrave just suggested I was sired by an ancient vampire.
Support the equality between men and women.
Good evening, Miss Ashbury.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reid.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Have you noticed anything unusual recently?
A few days ago, I spotted a strange house while campaigning for women's suffrage. Awful smell. No answer when I knocked.
Where is it?
It's the Mullaneys, a nice family who live in a big house near the park in the eastern part of this neighborhood.
Immer noch gesund.
Goodbye, Charlotte. Give my best regards to your mother when you see her.
She's been quite busy these last few nights. I suspect you may see her before me.
Ja, hast du schon gesagt. Ich habe eben gesagt, boah, ich sollte nicht schlafen und vorher erst... ich sollte, bevor ich penne, sollte ich jetzt eigentlich Leute noch heilen, aber das schaffe ich nicht.
Good evening, old chap. Are you all right?
I won't lie to you, Johnny. I'm not a well man.
Ja, der erholt sich. Nix. Da haben wir auch nix.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Can you help me?
Infection is everywhere these days. But if you ever go to the park near that swanky house belonging to the Mullaneys...
Yes? What about the Mullaneys? What about their house?
Not enough noise for a big family with children. Not enough movement. Closed doors. What is going on in there? I wonder.
So.
You need some rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep.
Würde er nicht machen. Drehst du dich um? Danke. Da. Kann ich nicht. Komisch. Da komme ich nicht hoch zurück. Das stimmt. Kann ich da die Tür? Ah, okay.
Let's pin it down.
Aua! Muss das sein, so in den Rücken? Oh, schön. Oh Gott, das heißt, ich komme da nicht hin, weil da die sind. Okay. Oh. Oh, komm. Ja. Christus hilft dir auch nicht. Ich gehe. Weißt du? Komme ich irgendwie zu den Docks? Ich mache eine Markierung in der Hoffnung, dann dahin zu kommen, die aber nicht angezeigt wird. Doch, da. Da muss ich ja auch noch ein paar Leuten helfen. Dann laufe ich jetzt mal dahin. Dem geht's gut. So schlecht ist der Weg hier nicht. Und vielleicht genießt... Ach, falsch rum. So rum. Die heute kann ich auch anquatschen, oder? Ja, aber nicht jetzt. Falsch, falsch. Aber das ist doch... Hier bin ich schon mal richtig, glaube ich. Ja, ja, ja.
His name. You cannot forget his name.
Das ist nicht der richtige Weg.
Disgusting smell. Oh, I can't continue like this.
Hallo?
Good evening, miss. Can I help you? I'm a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reid.
I am Karina Billow. I don't need any doctor. The rats. Where are the rats?
Miss, you don't seem well at all. Are you afraid of rats? Has one bitten you?
No, it's me who bites them. Tasty, juicy, disgusting rats. I can't stop eating them. Help me, please. Help me to disobey the voice.
Okay.
What happened to you?
The rats. The answer hides in their little crunchy bones. Their juicy, tiny brains.
Miss Billow, please, try to concentrate. Why do you worry about rats so much?
The voice in my head. He forces me to do so. Drink their blood, he said. Eat their flesh.
Do you feel compelled to obey that voice, Miss Billow? Even if you're loath to submit to it?
Yes. Please. Help.
Ich glaube, die hat eine Schöbel.
Tell me about the voice in your head. Who is it? Can you describe it? Is it someone you know? Someone you met?
Keep your mouth shut, he said. Don't ever speak about me, or I'll abandon you. Help me, please, Doctor.
Tell me about yourself, Miss Billow. What do you do for a living?
Oh, I'm hungry. Need to eat. Have you got something for me? Blood, perhaps? Can you give me blood, Dr. Reid?
Don't you remember who you are, miss?
What you did for work?
I was strong, proud. I campaigned for good causes. But that was before. It does not matter anymore. I'm so hungry.
What is the local news hereabouts, Miss Billow?
Shadows. Shadows hunting shadows. Whispers in the dark. Pestilence. Suffering. Death.
Okay. Hinweise.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Have you noticed anything unusual recently?
Infection. The rats carry it, I heard. Rats. Many rats around that big house. Funny smell too. Dead flesh.
And where is this house?
West of the park. Not very far. A big house with no sound, no light, no life left.
I must go now. Goodbye, Miss Billow.